महादेव्याकुक्षिरत्नं शब्दजीतरवात्मजं राजचन्द्रमहं वन्दे तत्त्वलोचनदायकं प्रभु तत्त्वलोचनदायकम्।
नमो लोये सौहरिहन्तानं नमो लोये सौहृदानं नमो लोये सौभागिर्यां नमो लोये सौज्जायानं नमो लोये सौत्रिकावर्ति सावनं ओंकारमेन्दु संयुक्त नित्यं जयन्ति योगिनः कामदमोक्षणो चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः मङ्गलं भगवान् यो मङ्गलं भूतनो मङ्गलं कुञ्कुण्डार्यो जयेन्द्रमोक्षमङ्गलं नमः सुन्दरिसाराय स्वानुभूत्या जथा सिद्धि स्वभावाय भवाय
Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Ariyantanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Aryanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Ujjayanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Savanam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah. Namah Samaysaraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chitsubhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandhanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurunmritam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayavanta Bharto Omkaranada Jinano Jayavanta Bharto Jinana Samo Sarana Sao Jayavanta Bharto Netirthachara Jagama Jayavanta Bharto Namo Etirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangaryotene Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane Aho upakara jinavarano kundano dhani divyano jina kunda dhaniyata aho te guru kanano aho te bhagavati matano dhruva achalane anupama gati pamel sarve siddhane vandi kaho sutta kevali bhasita asamaya prabhrata are एक शुद्ध सदा अरूपी ज्ञान दर्शनमय करे कई अन्य ते मारू जरी परमाणु मात्र नति अरे जम नेत्र ते मज ज्ञान नति कारक नति वेदक अरे जाने ज कर्मोदय निरजरा बंद ते मज मोक्षने ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो Om Namah Siddhaya. Om Sri Suddhatmane Namaha. Jai Jirendra. Today is April 5th, 2017, Wednesday, and we are continuing our Swadhay on Samaysar. We are on Samaysar stanza 11. We are discussing that stanza. Our request came today also that maybe we'll entertain that request first. This week, there are 9 days. There is something called Ayambil Oli. Ayambil Oli is one of the occasions observed in Shvetambara tradition. And there are meanings behind that. So maybe we'll just talk quickly about that part and talk what it is. It's called Naupad Oli. Naupad Oli means it just talks about nine pillars. Let me bring the slides. I think I may have slides. My slides here. 1 second, okay? I have to bring it in. Okay, share screen, share screen. Okay, so this I am will is one of the penances that in Swetambar tradition, they follow that one. They are done for 9 days, and there are 9 steps are given, and it comes twice a year, you know. So right now in this time until 15th of this month, 15th in the sense from Indian calendar, you know. So the 9 days in the bright half of Chaitra and 9 days on the bright half of Aso. These are the 2 times this celebration of this penance is performed. There are 9 steps are given: Aryan, Siddh, Acharya, Upadhyaya, Sadhu, Darshan, Gnan, Charitra, and Tap. So each day has its own significance. And this is the picture that is being shown, in which there is a central point is Aryan, then Siddha, Acharya, Upadhyaya, Sadhu, then Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gnan, Samyak Charitra, and Samyak Tap. So these are the things mentioned mainly, and there is a story behind this one. There's a story of Sripal Raja and Queen Mainasundari, Sripal Raja and Mainasundari. The story goes, we won't go into absolute detail of the story, but in short, the Mainasundari is a queen, and her father said that whom would you marry? The 2 sisters, Mainasundari and her sister. So Mainasundari says, I depend on my luck, and the other sister says, no, I depend on you, daddy. So daddy liked that girl, and daddy said, oh, you want to have your own luck? Try it. And so he gets, the king gets Mainasundari, the daughter, gets married to a guy called Sripal, who has leprosy, and he was ugly looking, and he has lots of disease and everything. So she gets married to this diseased person, and then they end up doing this Siddha Chakra celebration, in the sense they perform this 9 days of austerity. And the story goes that, well, what happens that because this is story goes, because they followed these 9 days of penances, that Sripal end up removing all his disease and everything, and he becomes now a fantastic king and everything, and thereafter they lived happily and everything. So central theme over here, that people believe that if you do this 9 days of a celebration, then you can have prosperity physically and financially, all kind of things. People do believe in general. That's not the case. Actually, if we go to the story, Sripal and Mainasundari, they both had enlightenment. They both had a Samyak Darshan. And then after Samyak Darshan, then they end up performing this kind of penance. And as a result, when they were deeply involved in an auspicious inclination of their own. Now we are talking from soul perspective. Remember, we are on the 11th stanza, so we are putting that 11th stanza here. So from soul's perspective, they try to remain within their own eternal nature of the soul, because they both were enlightened souls. While this is going on, into the soul, here are the karma. In karma also, by its own, karma gets transformed from negative to positive. From inauspicious material karma, they get transformed to auspicious material karma. What does auspicious material karma give? They give you facility. They give physical body and associative thing. So these two people, they got the karma got transformed into the auspicious nature, and as a result, their physical body, which is not part of their soul, right? Soul and physical body are separate. So physical body got a comfort. The disease go away and everything, but that is physical body. They didn't care for that thing. They were only getting engrossed in the eternal soul substance. So now people from outside say, oh, they did this kind of penance and their physical disease go away, so we should do it too. Remember, anything in Jainism, if you perform any act with the expectation of the result, then it is called arthra dhyan, means it is called a bad type of meditation, and with that thing you end up acquiring bad karma actually. If you expect something in return from doing something austerity wise, well, if I do one austerity, if I do this kind of thing, I will get prosperity, I'll get my disease go away and everything. That is not true. People in a general public, having no knowledge of what soul, eternal soul substance, and attributes and modes and everything, so they get misled by these things, and so they get involved in the auspicious activity. Doing auspicious activity is not wrong, but to perform auspicious activity and think that you did something right, that kind of feeling is reason for binding your bad karma with you. So you don't want to do that. One should not do that. So here there is five things are there. Let's go back again. Aryan, Siddh, Acharya, Upadhyaya, Sadhu. Aryan and Siddh are the omniscient Lord. They are the omniscient Lord. Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhu, they are the monk with the enlightenment. Word enlightenment is important. Monk with enlightenment. And once monk has enlightenment, then he is on the path to go to moksha and everything. He's on the path to obtain omniscience knowledge. So first two are the position that would like to achieve. This remaining three are the pathway through which you will go through that, and then darshan, gnan, charitra, top. Right faith, right knowledge, right conduct, and austerity. These are the means by which, through this state, I'll be going to omniscient state. So, Aryan, since we know that they are the liberated, they are the soul with the omniscience. Acharya is a head monk. All the monks are there. Then Acharya is a head monk for them. He's kind of administrator. And Upadhyaya, he's kind of the person, he's kind of a monk who has expertise in literature. He knows 11 Ang and 14 Purva. That is extremely huge amount of scripture that he knows, that he analyzes that one. And sadhu is a regular sadhu, in the sense he's doing lots of austerity, lots of process and everything, through which he purifies himself and keeps going further. Now, what is darshan means? Right faith, enlightenment. That's what we are talking for last 2, 3, 4 years. Enlightenment. How to get enlightenment? Well, my attention is drawn to the alien objects of the universe. I have to bring it back to myself. When I bring that faith to my eternal soul substance, then it's called right faith or samyak darshan. When that samyak darshan occurs, then the knowledge becomes right knowledge also, or enlightened knowledge also. Once that happens, then one gets engrossed within his own pure nature, and that is called right conduct, and that is the eighth part. And the austerity is part of the conduct, in which person end up performing 12 types of austerity. The detailed description is given in the literature in the Tattvat Sutra, chapter 9, stanza 26. I think there is a detail given about this austerity, external austerity and internal austerity, external penance, internal penance, like fasting and eating less than what you are hungry with, and eating certain foods, and all kind of things are being mentioned. So these are the things people perform through those 9 days. They are not only to be performed for 9 days, but you are training yourself so that you can live with a minimal means. And as long as you reduce your external possessions, and you reduce your dependency on the body, now you have more chance to go within. That reminds me one short kind of episode that happened to me about 2, 3 years back. One of my close childhood friend, that we both grew up together since childhood, since birth practically we were together till about ninth grade in a small town called Palej in India. And there we became very extremely close friends. That I mean, I used to sleep at his place, read at his place. We used to be two bodies with one mind practically. And thereafter he went to Surat for his college and everything, and I went to Baroda and everything. Then we got separated. Then he became monk, and after 35 years of his monkhood, I met him one time in India, about 7, 8 years back. At that time, it was kind of a unique way of meeting each other. That we started talking so much spirituality and everything, and he was extremely interested in spirituality of what we are talking, like Samaysar and everything. And we are talking and all the thing, and we're discussing all the thing. So I used to go in Ahmedabad to his lectures also. And first day when I went, he gave fantastic lectures on eternal soul substance and attributes and modes and all the things. Second day I went, and suddenly he started talking about Maina Sundari and the Sripal story. I didn't understand what happened to this Maharaj Sahib. And so after after the lecture was over, I met him. I said, Sahib, what happened to you? You are supposed to speak on Dravyanu Yoga, on a soul, substance, attribute, and mukti. He says, Kirit, I know I want to talk, but then I am will only started. So just for the society, I have to tell those stories and everything. So that was kind of a little funny thing that happened in our association. That Muniraj, he became later on Acharya, and actually I think about 2, 3 weeks back in Surat, he died suddenly. And he was extremely well respected in the Shwetambar community. His name was Mukti Darshan Maharaj Sahib, and he was extremely great friend of mine. Anyway, so this is a story that I was being told to talk about it, and so we are talking about it. What are these are the food that you avoid in that time. You avoid yogurt, sugar, ghee, milk, oil, all fried food, and you just eat boiled food with the salt and black pepper, basically. So that is called Ayambil, and I was being told to go for it. So that's what we went through. So now we are coming to our own chapter, what we were in. So let me take these things out and start new one. Okay, so last time we were on this slides and we are talking about two perspectives. What are the two perspectives we are talking? One from the self aspect, means eternal soul substance is infinite attribute and infinite modes are all absolute in nature, and from alien aspect, the object of the universe are conventional in nature. In the sense, we say, remember, as we said, when we talk about partial point of view, always there is going to be perspective used. What is the perspective used over here? Here is a soul substance, and on the other side, whole entire universe is there. I am the soul substance, and I am unique. I am myself, and everything besides me as a soul, everything is non-living for me. Means this the material karma are non-living to me. My physical body is non-living to me. The rest of the material thing I see, they are non-living to me. Medium of motion, medium of rest, space, and time are non-living. Plus all the living beings, all the souls of the universe, which are not me, they are also non-living for me. They are alien for me. They are alien objects for me. So these are the one. When we use this perspective, then I, as a soul substance, is an absolute in nature. I, as a soul substance, having infinite attribute within me and infinite modes within me, I am the absolute one. I'm the absolute. And everything else besides me, matter, medium of motion, medium of rest, space and time, and all other living being also, they all are alien to me. And they become conventional to me, and I'm the absolute point of view, and everything else is conventional point of view. This is one perspective in which we take soul as a whole thing. But now, when we enter into the soul, see, until now, all universal substance is in me as a soul, I'm here. Now, in the next perspective, what we are saying, this is a soul, and now I enter into the territory of the soul. I enter into it and say what is there in this house, or what is there in this soul. For example, my house is unique in the sense it is separate from every other houses. So for me, my house is my house. Everybody, all other houses are alien to me. But when I enter into my house, then my daughter's bedroom is there, my two kids' bedrooms are there, and they are their own property. I can't enter their own bedroom without permission. So even in my own home, my bedroom, I have a permission to enter without any hindrance. But the kids' room and everything, that becomes separate thing. So same way, when I enter into the soul substance, I enter into the territory of the soul, then I see that there are soul has a substance, soul has an attribute, soul has a mode. And what is happening here? What is most important for me here? For example, I'm being told that somebody's sick in the house, and go and get some oranges. So I go to the supermarket. I went to the fruit section. Then I said, okay, this has to be apple, this has to be banana, this has to be pineapple, and this has to be orange because of whatever nature orange has. Orange color is there, round is there, and all kind of things are there. So that's why I decide that that is orange and everything else is separate from orange. Now I bring the orange at home. Then my wife says, okay, orange is there, but now I need to take the orange juice out of it because the child is sick and needs to have fresh orange juice. So now I take the orange, peel the skin out, and take the pulp out and everything, and then I put it in the machine and the juice comes out. So ultimately, I'm supposed to have a juice. That is my important thing. And rest of the thing, like remaining pulp and the seeds and everything, I throw it away in garbage. So that's my second perspective. When I'm entering into soul substance, the substance is there, attributes are there, modes are there. What do I look into it? Then it says, from eternal and indivisible soul's perspective, soul substance is absolute in nature, and division of attributes and transient modes are considered as conventional in nature. Same orange, which was important for me to bring it from the supermarket, now that I am at home, the skin is peeled off, the juice is taken out, pulp is thrown out, and the seeds are thrown out. Only the thing, I need a juice. That was the whole aim for me. So same way, first thing, when I'm in the universe, I should say, who am I? I'm separate from everybody else. So I separate them out. Okay, I separate the apple out, I separate the banana out, pineapple out, grapes out, and I took the oranges. I took my soul substance. But when I brought the soul substance, I went inside and said, out of all the things, what is more important? Division of attributes are not important. The transience of the modes are not important. Only eternal soul substance is the one which is most important for me. So I have to have my perspective has to be there. So that is ultimate absolute point of view. Having said that, now we can go to what happened to ignorant soul. Ignorant soul has taken the side of divisional aspect of attribute and conventional aspect of transient mode since time infinite in the past. Ignorant soul, he wants to understand that this is a knowledge attribute. Knowledge attribute is of 5 different types of knowledges are there. This is a faith attribute. This is a conduct attribute. This is eternal existence attribute. And all those things, he makes the division of the attribute. And also, he has put his attention to the transient modes. And he brought the attention to the transient modes. Now, in the previous slide, we said absolute point of view will be eternal soul substance. Even the division of the attributes are not important, and not important in the sense to be made secondary. Even the transient modes are to be made secondary, but ignorant soul does everything wrong. Now, why does it do the wrong? Because he's been discourses of the same. He's been given discourses that the knowledge mode is there. This knowledge mode has a self and alien illumination property, and in the alien illumination property, all the alien substance get illuminated in the knowledge mode, and all kind of things have been taught that way. That's what we are talking since last several weeks in the divisional way. So that is the reason that ignorant soul believes that one. Now, the whole idea of explaining in the divisional way is the thing that Acharya Bhagwan and the Omniscient Lord wants us to follow the indivisibility of the eternal soul substance. But remember, I never had experienced indivisibility within me. For example, if somebody tells a layman that, okay, you have to have your attention drawn to the eternal soul substance, your faith attribute has to be more, the faith mode has to be brought to the eternal soul substance from alien or it's been said, he gets confused. He never heard all these things. He doesn't know all these things. He has never experienced all those things. So it is Greek and Latin for him. So Acharya Bhagwan says, okay, I'm going to explain to him in his own way. And I'll explain to him in his own way. There are 2 holy experienced experts were there. And one day they were walking and suddenly they started arguing with each other. And one says, I'm the superior. Other one says, I'm superior. So they both had a hot discussion, but they were also wise people. So they said, you know what? If we keep on arguing with each other, we will never make it. So let's have some third person come and make decision for us. So they were walking, and there was one shepherd taking care of his cows and everything. So they catch hold of this shepherd and says, listen, young man, you have to decide who is superior between two of us. Shepherd said, wait a second, you know, I'm an ordinary guy and you're asking me something. Why will you ask me to do all the things? So they said that, don't worry, you have to do it. You have to do it no matter what, okay? So 1 second. So he says, okay, reluctantly he agreed. So now the first expert, he kept on reciting Sanskrit slok after slok after slok. He spoke it for God knows how long. Then he stopped. This shepherd, he has no idea what is happening. He was totally confused. Then the next person's time comes. The next person say only one sentence. He says, Swasti. Swasti means let the omen be with you from the Lord. The shepherd said, oh wow, this guy says I'm the ordinary guy, he's a learned guy, and he gives me blessing that let the omen of the Lord bestow upon you. So when decision came, he says the second expert is the best. Why? Because he spoke in his language. That's why he understood. First guy spoke in Sanskrit. He did not the shepherd did not understand. Similarly, we are so ignorant souls. We have seen this one in stanza 8. When we said that if something is taught, something has been said in our language, we will understand. So, for example, Acharya Bhagwan said, "Okay, listen. You don't understand eternal soul substance, but do you become angry? Oh yes. Do you have ego? Yes. Do you have greed? Oh yeah, I'm full of it." So that is wrong thing. If you can turn around, you give up your anger, you give up your deceit, you give up your ego, you give up your greed, then you can come to the place where you can experience a soul substance. So now ignorant soul understands this way. So he's been given discourses in divisional aspect, in a conventional form. But the whole idea is ultimately the convention form has been explained, but ultimately idea is to have the person go for indivisibility of the eternal true nature of the soul substance. I have never experienced eternal soul substance in indivisible way. So Acharya Bhagwan gives division to me, and he explains to me how the things are. Spoken language has limitation. So spoken language has limitation, so that can be taught only with a divisional aspect. I'm experiencing some extreme happiness right now, for example. How can I express that happiness to you? It's a unique experience I'm passing through right now. How can I explain? Then you said, please explain, please explain. So I have to look for the words, and those words are coming in divisional way. In the 20th stanza of Apurva Ausar, it says, Je pada sri sarvagne dityu gnanama kahi sakya nahi te pan sri bhagwan jo. The one, that omniscient Lord who has experienced the eternal soul substance, he is in the absolute engrossment on his eternal soul substance. He has no words to express how much happiness he has it. So he will only say in a divisional aspect. So Acharya Bhagwan will explain to us in divisional aspect. Enlightened monks and saints, they will explain to you in divisional aspect. But the idea is we grab the indivisibility ultimately. We don't get stuck to the divisional aspect. So ignorance has never never taken the side of indivisibility of the eternal soul substance. Omniscient Lord has explained, he'll explain in conventional form, but he mentioned it to emphasize the main point of absolute form. Idea behind is to explain absolute form. The small child has never seen a lion, so he's been explained that, hey, little boy, listen, have you seen a cat? Yes. How is a cat? 4 legs are there, tail is there, ears are there, and these and that, fierce looking cat and everything. So the lion looks like that. So now, when he goes to the zoo ultimately and sees the real lion, then he says, oh, the cat that was I've been explained, this is the big cat that my grandpa was talking about. So ultimately, idea is to go to the absolute form. Conventional form is the vehicle through which to be explained. He means the Omniscient Lord suggested that with absolute form there is associated conventional form present also, but this conventional form ends up giving up bondage only. Now, here is a soul who has obtained the enlightenment, means he has experienced his soul substance. He brought his attention from the alien object, he brought his faith to the eternal soul substance. Remember, faith has only 2 possibilities: either it is to the alien object or to the eternal soul substance. So now the living being brought his attention, his faith to the eternal soul substance. So he now has purity has started in his self. It's not complete purity. Purity has just started. And now it needs to be further purified. There are steps given from spiritual development state 1 all the way to spiritual development state 14. When the time comes, we'll talk about those 14 steps also. That means there is removal of the impurity and generation of purity, and gradually purity becomes more and more. Impurity keeps on decreasing, and ultimately impurity gets removed, and purity is ultimately there, which is a 14th spiritual development state. And at that time, the soul ends up going to be liberated and goes to the Adobe of Siddha. He goes to Siddhasila. He's called a Siddha Bhagwan. So, while the purity has started at the 4th spiritual developmental state, now he still has some impurity, means conventional form is present, but he tries to remove them step by step by step by step by step. Because this conventional form or impurity which is still present within him after obtaining partial purity. Partial purity is obtained, so partial impurity is present. That partial impurity is still the reason for bondage to this person, to this living being. To the extent, how can one become Tirthankar Bhagwan, let's say? Means 3 lives before, when a living being has acquired Tirthankar Nam Karma. There is particular karma called Nam Karma. According to the Shvetambara tradition, it says, Savi Jiva Karu Sasan Rasi, means I'm coming to the end of my transmigration, but along with me, how come millions and millions of souls also can get liberated? So that kind of a auspicious inclination he had it. Or in Digambar tradition, there are Solakaran Bhavana. There are 16 types of inclinations, auspicious inclinations are there, and that's a reason a soul ends up binding Tirthankar Nam Karma. but it's a bondage. Bondage, even though it's a Tirthankar Nam karma, but because he had auspicious inclination, so auspicious inclination end up giving auspicious karma to him. So even that conventional form, it's end up giving bondage to him. So Tirthankar Bhagwan, when he is born and now his Tirthankar Nam karma comes in fruition, at that time he gives the discourses. When he gives discourses, lots of souls like us sitting in Samaysar, assembly of preaching, we listen to those discourses and we end up going to Siddhasila right away, and Tirthankar Bhagwan still has to wait till his Nam karma finishes. So that is also bondage to him. He means Tirthankar therefore mentions that absolute form is real and true, and conventional form is unreal and untrue. This is the basic principle in stanza 11.
Hey, Kirit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just going over my head, but what does any of this has to do with Gatha 11?
Because he's coming to this point. He's coming to this point ultimately, that absolute form is real and true, and conventional form is unreal and untrue. So Gurudev is trying to hit very hard from different angle. He's giving us idea that real absolute form is real. Why it's absolute form real? Why conventional form is unreal and untrue? Because he is giving all this example from different angle, different perspective. He tries to solidify our idea what we have to believe. So that's what because Gurudev has
that makes sense now. That makes sense.
Because he had a specialty in the sense he never went one track mind. Yes, he had a one track mind for you to obtain enlightenment. That was his one track mind. But when he is giving facts, he used to give from so many different angles, so that there is no reason for me to get stuck somewhere. So that was his very, very elaborate way of explaining from different angles. So this is the last bullet is also most important. That is the crux of this 11th stanza, because when we say 4 types of conventional form, they are the untrue and unreal, and absolute form of eternal soul substance is real and true form. That's a central theme. And whole thing revolves around that idea only, all the time. Let me make this small. By making modal aspect, etc., secondary, and thereby told to be untrue and unreal. Remember, he again says, modes are occurring within me. I have ownership of this mode. But even though they are occurring, they are made secondary. They are not been thrown out. They are been accepted, but in the form of secondary nature, because my primary aim is eternal soul substance. So again, in this bullet, lots of time people get misled. They just said, well, eternal soul substance is the thing that I have to go for it, and mode is not important. And in that situation, he ends up doing all the inauspicious thing. For example, why should I go to temple? Why should I do this? Why should I do that? Why should I do austerity and all the things? So he ends up going on the wrong path. But in this previous bullet, Gurudev explained that, remember, the conventional form is untrue and unreal, but it is part of you because mode is occurring within you. So ultimately, if I end up doing rag and dvesh, then I have to know I am doing it. It is to be taken out, and I don't have to give importance to that because my importance is eternal soul substance. Now coming to the next one, conventional aspect in the scripture. Why in the scripture they say the same thing? We can just, we have discussed this one a lot. Scripture, many places, discourses of conventional form is given because that's only the way average person will understand. Karma, in the karma related scripture, it says knowledge gets obscured with knowledge obscuring karma, and so on and so forth. Knowledge gets obscured with knowledge obscuring karma. That is conventional form of explanation. But ultimately, we know it that knowledge of knowledge and knowledge obscuring karma, they both are separate. One is a consciousness, other is a matter substance. They both are separate. They both behave in their own way. So knowledge obscuring karma cannot do anything to me. Lots of time what happens when such type of discussions are going on and people get bored, they don't understand everything, and so they'll just say, you know what, my knowledge obscuring karma is so dense that I can't understand this one. So he's looking for an escape route. That's not true. If I have a desire to know something, then I will know it. Housewife, well, I'll tell you about my wife. If some place we went and some kind of food is a very tasty or new item is there, she will talk to the host. She will remember those things. She'll come back home and she'll make the exact same preparation which she never made it before, because she has an interest in that. So one time she listened from the host, she can make the same thing. So why should I not have the interest in the scripture and spirituality that one time? Yeah.
That statement that you have highlighted there, income related scriptures, etc., etc., etc. Is that is that Asadput Anupcharit Yavarne?
You can say one thing is Asadbut for sure, because there are two separate substances involved, right?
So is it Anupcharit?
Now, do you want to say Anupcharit in what perspective? For example,
Anupcharit from the perspective of, let's see.
Because it's close. It's extremely close to me. For example, and I'll tell you why we can say Anupcharit. Because this is my body, right? My body will last with me for 70, 80, whatever years. And then it will get demise. And then it will be burned out and all kind of things. So soul and body will get separate. But the karma, knowledge obscuring karma and all 8 types of karma will still get stuck to the soul and will remain with the soul till it gets born in the next life, and so on and so forth. So karma are associated with me since time infinite, and they will only be dissociated from me when I get liberated. So there is extreme close association with me. So we can say Anupcharit also from that perspective. Now, if you want to say Upcharit, you can also say Upcharit because it can be separated out. So what perspective you want to use it, then you can just give them accordingly. So, there is a Matignan, for example. Matignan can, where does it occur? It occurs in the knowledge mode. So it occurs within me. So when it is, hello? Any question?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So Matignan, perceptual knowledge, it's occurring, it's a part of the knowledge mode. So it is occurring within me. So it can be called Anupcharit. It could be called Anupcharit Sadbut because it is part of me. Anupcharit in the sense, Sadbut in the sense, because I'm making division from the eternal soul substance and from knowledge attribute to the knowledge mode. So I'm making division. So it becomes Sadbut. But because it's part of me, part of my knowledge, so it's Anupcharit. But from other angle, if you look at it, when I get liberated, then my knowledge is omniscience knowledge, and the Matignan is already out, it is gone. So because it's gone, it can be removed, so it can be called Upcharit also. So it depends on what perspective you use. And as long as you understand what perspective you want to use it, you can label any way you like it, as long as you have reason to give, Right? Okay. Now, for example, in conduct related scripture, it says, monk must walk in certain way, he should talk in certain way, he accept food without any fault, etc. So these are the conduct related scripture, Charnanuyog scripture, and that is also conventional aspect. But these discourses are given for the soul who already has realized his eternal true nature of the self. And so he understands that, okay, these are conventional forms, and as long as I have absolute form with me, so these conventional forms are there, to be neglected, removed ultimately.
So, Kirit Uncle, point number 3 from the perspective of Atma, point number 3. Can we call that Asadbhut Upcharit Vyarne?
Asadbhut Upcharit, yes, you are right. It could be because right now it's a walking. Walking is a function of body. Talking, function of the body. Accepting food, function of the body. So it's a upcharit and asadbhut. Yes, you are right. Yep. And I think, these are the exercises when we have to sit. What meditation basically, first thing in the morning, one wakes up and says, I'm doing meditation. What meditation it means? It means you just analyze the fact you learn. And you just said, okay, so is this asadbhut upcharit? Why? Then you start analyzing in your mind. When you do that analysis, all kind of things and everything, that means there is no time to have extra erroneous thought to come within you. So at least you are able to control your thought process. And once you control the thought process, then we have to go to thoughtlessness state, which will be followed later on. So these are the way we have to do meditations. Yeah, I was jogging today, and I was listening to Gurudev's pravachan, and suddenly something stuck to me, and I had to stop that lecture pravachan, and I have to just recite in my mind what Gurudev said and how it's important for me. And then I'll just say it's a very good point, Kim, that the knowledge has two forms: self-illumination and alien illumination property, right? With Swapa Prakasha, self-illumination property, alien illumination property. Now, in our situation right now, not having Samyak Darshan, then I have mainly alien illumination property is manifesting a lot better, a lot more, or entirely. Let's put it that way. Now, when I'm alien illumination property means, okay, I just say, this is my phone, this is the book and everything. So I know the alien objects. Now, alien objects are known through the senses. And anything that you perceive through the senses is called indirect knowledge. Anything that is perceived through the senses is called indirect knowledge. Even the scriptural knowledge, now reading the scripture is also called indirect knowledge. And it is always associated with rag and dvesh. Why? Because I'm in the first spiritual development state, so I have my conduct attribute is presented in the altered fashion in the form of mithyatva. So my knowledge, which is alien illumination property, is mixed with this mithyatva, means rag and dvesh. So whenever I look at the alien objects at this point, it is always with rag and dvesh, and so it is wrong knowledge. It is called agnan. Now, when I obtain samyak darshan, means my partial purity of the conduct attribute has started, but still I have a presence of milder rag and dvesh. So I still have milder rag dvesh, so my knowledge is still not perfect. And 11th spiritual stage, 12th spiritual stage, 13, 14, and Siddha Bhagwan, there is no deluding karma at all. There is no rag and dvesh. So Tirthankar Bhagwan and Siddha Bhagwan, when they start having alien illumination property, then there is no rag dvesh, so they don't have rag dvesh when they look at the alien object. Me, I'm looking at the alien object is always with the rag dvesh. So somebody says, well, અમે તો જ્ઞાતા દ્રષ્ટા થયા છીએ. You must have heard this a lot. અમે બસ પર વસ્તુને જ્ઞાતા દ્રષ્ટાથી જોઈએ છીએ. That's a wrong thing. Unless you have a samyak darshan. If you don't have samyak darshan, it is always associated with rag and dvesh. There is no gnata drashta at the time. So this kind of point came, and I started just stop listening, and I started digesting within me. My God, such a great principle that he laid it out to me, and I now understand. So now tomorrow morning when I try to do quote unquote meditation, I'll recite this one and try to solidify that knowledge within me. So those are the things we have to do. So conventional form in our state right now, I should try to analyze who I am, what it is, and how it is, and all the things. But these discourses are given from the soul who already has realized his eternal true nature of the self. All these things, karma-related thing, conduct-related thing, are discourses given to the self-realized soul. These are also, and then he is also aware of it, that these convention forms are associated with the absolute form, and this convention form is the reason for my karma bondage, and I had to be aware of those kind of things. So this they end up with the convention form, end up with the bondage of karma. Ignorant soul still, he believes that believes and has been taught. He's been taught since time infinite in the past that first remove inauspicious inclination, then with the auspicious inclination will lead you to purity. This is the absolute 99% of the followers will have this kind of a wrong idea within them. Let's stop doing inauspicious act. Let's do the auspicious act, and auspicious act will lead me to purity ultimately. That's a belief. Remember, the word belief is a wrong belief, and that's a mithyatva. This is not true. What is true? Truth is, the first one realizes his soul. By bringing his attention to the eternal nature of the soul, and then inauspicious and auspicious, both inclination will start dissipating. They will get disseminated. So what should I do now? And now this kind of thing are making me confused. What do I do right now? Well, you do, okay, you will start doing something inauspicious, you will not do it. You will do auspicious inclination. But by doing auspicious inclination, I am better than somebody else who is involved with the inauspiciousness. That's not true. My belief is, remember, act and belief are two different things here. Acharya Bhagwan says, what will you do? Tell me. I'm giving two choices. Either you can do inauspicious thing or auspicious thing. What would you like it? Well, I would like to do auspicious thing. But that auspicious thing, my belief says that I did something good by doing auspicious thing. That is a wrong belief. So I have to change my belief. I don't have to change anything except my belief. Every day in the morning, I get up and do toothbrush. Do I just announce on the public radio that, hey, you know what, I end up doing toothbrush today? It's but natural. If you sleep for 6-8 hours, when you wake up, you will do the toothbrush. That's normal. So why do you have to keep on announcing? But my grandchild is over here, and grandchild wakes up in the morning, and grandchild comes on the breakfast table and says, Grandpa, I finished, I did my brushing of my teeth. And then I said, oh, very good, great, very nice. But how long that grandchild will keep on telling me? When she's 25, she'll tell me. When she's 35, she'll tell me. No, they become routine. So all the auspiciousness we perform, going to temple, doing Swadhay, doing the charity, donation, everything, it becomes routine for me. I don't have to just make a public announcement for that. So these are the things that we have to remember, that what to do. Conduct is different and belief is different. Conduct, you can do anything you like it. But choice are given to you between auspicious and inauspicious. You most likely will, not most likely, you will prefer to have auspicious activity, conduct. But faith, where is my faith? Auspicious or inauspicious, both the things lead me to karma bondage. So I make them secondary. I don't give importance to that. Ultimately, my importance is eternal soul substance, where I want to go. Oh my God, 6 time and we start 5:30. We still have time. Okay. Okay, so for an ignorant soul, again, they are following divisional aspect and thereby conventional aspect since time infinite in the past, repeating the same thing. Basically, this type of ignorant souls also discuss among themselves about this conventional point of view. And again, I think in the fourth or fifth stanza, all this thing has come down. In scripture too, message of conventional point of view is given a lot, but one must understand that scripture mentions conventional point of view as it is associated with absolute point of view. You can tell conventional as conventional only if you have absolute point of view with you. Means if you have experienced your soul substance, then only rest of the thing become conventional form for you. If you have not experienced yourself, then even no, it's not called conventional point of view. You can do tons of charity, tons of penances, and you can remain in the temple 24/7, everything. But still, if you have not obtained absolute point of view, then it is not called conventional point of view. Therefore, ignorant being believes that with auspicious activity and by following division aspect of conventional form, one gets benefit. That is his wrong information, wrong belief. This is his wrong assumption since time infinite. The learned soul believes that he witnesses the conventional form of austerity, vow, etc. He is witnessing, he is simply a witness. He doesn't make his ownership on that thing. So what? I'm doing Varshita. Okay, you do it. But do you keep on telling every person meets on the street, hey, you know what? I'm doing Varshita. Do you do that? Your mom, does she keep on telling whole world that she's doing? Nobody knows what she's doing. And last time I met, I said, how many Varshita you are doing? She said, I don't know, maybe third or fourth or whatever. She just doesn't give importance to that. So that Susmita Ben has understood what austerity means. She just performs, but doesn't give importance to that. He or she believes that it's not his true nature. Conventional form is not his true nature. But still, one has not obtained complete passionless state, means one has not obtained over 12th spiritual development state, so he will have some conventional aspect present along with his true experience of the soul. On the 4th spiritual development state, experiencing of the soul occurs. Of the 12th spiritual state, he purifies himself.
Kirit bhai,
Yeah.
can I, it might be a little sidetracked, but I have a question.
Yeah.
So, the Charitra also falls under conventional point of view. So what does scripture says about Anukampa Dan versus Supatra Dan?
All those things are conventional form of view, conventional point of view.
So,
because
so how should we react? How should we react to anukampadan?
you should, I mean, okay, I have something with me. I can share with somebody else. And if I'm not sharing, is it a good idea? Yeah, obviously it's not a good idea. If I have something I can share with somebody, I should do it. That's auspiciousness. But that's a conventional point of view. So it's just like doing the toothbrush. I'm doing it. And I'm not making importance to that. So any activity we perform, yeah, go ahead.
So what happens to Supatradan?
You can, it gives you auspicious karma. It gives you auspicious karma. That's it.
That is also auspicious. So giving ahardan to Muni would be also.
It's auspiciousness. Auspiciousness.
But that becomes a Shravak's achar, right?
But see, if you're not going to do that, then what are you going to do? Let's presume, okay, you have the monk available and you don't want to offer food to him. What are you going to do then? So you have.
Kiranko, doesn't Dan presume ownership, and isn't ownership itself mithyatva?
Yeah. Wait, no. Dan means donation you are giving, right? You are giving.
But doesn't donation imply ownership?
No, I'm not taking ownership, because right now, for example, let's say I go to the temple and I just say, okay, I'm going to give $1 million today. But one condition, you have to write down my big name on the front of the temple.
No, but that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is that in order to donate something, you must first have it, right?
Yeah.
And if you claim to have something, isn't that in and of itself mithyatva? Because the fact that money is with you is, that's the bhavitavyata of that money, and that's the bhavitavyata of you, or the 5 samvays have coalesced, and that money is with you, and you are neither the earner or the doer or the creator. Yeah. Therefore, how can you be the donator?
Well, remember the physical, I mean, the comfort that you are getting in this life, whether you are a wrong believer or right believer, whether you are mithyatva or whether you are samkiti jeev, you are getting the prosperity, monetary prosperity, health prosperity, the respect prosperity, whatever prosperity you want to label it to, that is coming because of the fruition of the past karma to you. So that is occurring. Now that I have this prosperity within me, and I say there is nothing greater than me in this whole universe, that kind of belief is a wrong belief. But Samyak Drashti Jeev, Bharat Maharaja, he is a Kshayik Samkit, and he is a Chakravarti. He is a universal monarch. He has tons and tons of prosperity that has been described so much that even we cannot even digest the description, because that is from the fruition of the past karma. But because he has a self-realization, he says, that's not me, that's not mine. I'm separate from it. I'm entirely separate from those kind of things. So there is nothing, that's not called a mithyatva.
Well, but then that's not Dan either, right? That's not Dan either, because it's in his. Well, let me ask you this: in his case, there's no bhav of Dan, is there?
No,
because he does not recognize that as his own.
What is bhav? Bhav means I've done something good today. Well, I have money which came from my past karma fruition. Now I gave it out to somebody. So that inclination, I did something good, that is mithyatva.
Right, so that's not there with Bharat Maharaj.
He doesn't have that. He has separated himself from the physical prosperity. He has it, monetary prosperity. He has it. He says it's not me.
Correct. So then that's not Dan.
No, but he gives to somebody. When he distributes, means he did not want to keep it with himself. He wanted to distribute with other people. So now, if he says that now I did a great job, then it's not well done. But without any having ownership, if he gives the donation, that is auspicious karma he's binding. That's it.
So Kirit bhai, let's say I have an option of giving ahardan to Muni and or anukampadan.
Mm-hmm.
So how should I proceed?
It's situation dictates. Yeah, if your choice, then you have to go to the worthiest soul. You give that down to the worthiest soul.
So it would be ahardan to Muni.
Yeah, you know, I think this is echo coming from your side. I think there is in Kartika Anupreksha, there is one sloka comes. कुंगू के पत्ते जैसा मंदिर और जो जैसी प्रतिमा का जो प्रतिष्ठा कराता है उसकी पुण्य की तो हम डिस्क्रिप्शन नहीं दे सकते. Teeny tiny leaf type of temple. Jao means a white type of little bit of small teeny tiny pratima. When you do the pratishtha of that one, when Acharya Bhagwan says, we cannot give the description of his auspiciousness. Now, if you end up building the whole temple and everything, then auspiciousness occurs. But if I take ownership, I was the reason it happened, then it's bad. So ownership is important. Right?
Yes, Kirit uncle, and we're experiencing an echo, even though everyone else is muted. I don't know why.
I think. Let me see. Hold it. No, everybody's muted. Yeah, I don't know why. There is no echo right now. Okay, all right. So basically, you see, the auspiciousness and inauspiciousness. Ultimately, what are those two things? Ultimately, they bring bondage. So why should I get involved with that? Now, okay, if I have choice to give ahardan to a monk, it is because it's a supatra, it's a worthy soul, so it gives tremendous auspiciousness to me. But again, if I take ownership of those things, then it has no value. So I don't have to take ownership. I keep on doing whatever I would like to do, charity-wise, austerity-wise, whatever I can do, I have to do it within my capacity. And so there's nothing wrong with that, because I don't want to do the bad thing. I mean, so ultimate good thing or bad thing, but ultimately my aim is to go to the eternal soul substance experiencing. That should be my aim ultimately. So these are the pathway for my ultimate achieving the aim that comes on the pathway, and I have to accept it the way they come and not to take ownership. Not to take ownership is the big thing.
Kirit uncle, and so here I have a question. These things, Daya, Dan, Puja, Bhakti, Vrat, and Tap, they have a Vevar meaning that we're talking about, and then they also have sometimes a beautiful, I think, Nischay meaning. What would be like the Nischay meaning of Dan? Like I know in one example, Ahimsa from the Nischay, I think from Nischay is described as non-violence to yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean to say? Bhakti no earth, potana Okay, so Eviritna, is there like a sort of a Nischay definition for Dan and the other ones?
It's a conventional definition of donation is I wrote a check. That's it. That's a conventional form. But absolute form is it was never been mine because it's a matter particles. It was never been mine, so it never became mine. So how can I donate it out? So if I understand that point very well, then it's called conventional perspective when I give donation. But remember, when will I call conventional as a conventional? Only if it is associated with the absolute form. So do I have right belief right now? Do I have enlightenment right now? Do I have absolute form of experiencing of myself? I don't have it. So if I don't have it, anything I do, it's not even called conventional perspective. It is called conventional perspective. It is called Vyavara Bhas. In the 7th chapter of Moksha Prakasha, there is a description, great description is given, and Gurudev Kanji Swami has given a good discourses on those kind of things. So ultimate, my aim, only my aim has to be in this life. How can I get experiencing of my true self? And for that thing, whatever I have to do to come on the right path, I will do it. I will do those kind of things, and that means anything where it is inauspiciousness, I'll try to stay away from it. Auspiciousness, I will follow that one. But ultimately, my aim is not auspicious. My aim is to experience eternal soul. So where is my aim? I have to decide my aim first. Once I decide my aim, everything else will fall into the place. I want to go to nuclear medicine department. I want to understand nuclear medicine. So I will start taking those kind of courses. I'll go to the colleges, and ultimately I'll do the graduation, post-graduation, and I'll achieve those things. I want to become ophthalmologist. So first I have to become medical doctor. To get medical doctor, I have to go to medical school. To get it, I have to go to the college. To go to college, I have to have good. So all those things will be there. Ultimately, it will just because I want to go to medical school and I'll sit down at home and just do nothing, it will not happen. So everything that I do, it will fall into the place and it will just take me to those situations. Same way, my aim is eternal soul substance. So I will start going that way all the time, slowly going, climbing, then ultimately I end up with the experiencing of the soul. But that is most important thing that I have to keep in mind, experiencing of my soul substance, no matter what it takes. I will do it because I understand the point, I understand the situation, I understand where I am, and I know what I should do it. So it will come automatic. Will I do Anukampa Dan and everything? Yeah, I will do it. Will I take ownership of that one? No, I won't take ownership of that one. And will it give me auspicious? It doesn't make any difference to me. Did I just do with my good heart to do all the things? That's all it counts. I'm going to do the fasting, and the week before I keep on announcing, hey, you know what? Next week I'm going to do fasting. That's not an important thing. Fasting you're doing because you want to be having lot more time available to yourself to do the self-study, to do the Swadhay. That's why you're doing fasting and everything. So the process is not important. What's the aim? Aim is important. So here we are. Conventional form associated with the absolute form. What does it mean? Now, absolute form and conventional form means auspicious inclination is called conventional form over here. Remember, it does not talk about inauspiciousness at all. It is understood that inauspicious, I don't want to do it, but even auspiciousness is also called conventional form. What happens there? In absolute form, absolute right faith, experiencing of the eternal soul substance is my absolute form. Once that is there, then 8 pillars of right faith, like no desire, free from fear, no doubts, etc. Those 8 pillars of the Samyak Darshan will be following, and that's called a conventional form. Absolute right knowledge. What does it mean? Knowledge of the eternal soul and associated bliss. I experience my soul substance, and at the same time I'm also experiencing bliss, super sensuous bliss, and that is called absolute right knowledge. What's a conventional form? Conventional form. 8 pillars of right faith, like reading, writing, pronouncing every letter and words correctly, etc., etc. The 8 steps are there. That is called conventional form of absolute right knowledge. Absolute right knowledge, getting, absolute right conduct, or should be conduct over here. Absolute right conduct means getting engrossed in the eternal true nature of the self. First thing is experiencing, and then with the experiencing, with the faith, then with the knowledge, I understand, I have the right knowledge about eternal soul substance and associated with bliss. And in conduct means I get engrossed in the eternal true nature of the self. And that time, the 13 pillars of right conduct, like 5 vows, 5 carefulnesses, and 3 restraint, 5 gupti, 3 samiti, 5 vrat. That means 13 points and 13 pillars of right conduct are there. So these are the right conduct pillars: right faith pillar, right knowledge pillar, right conduct pillar. In a conventional form of right knowledge, it's very important. For example, Vyanjanachar, Arthachar, Ubhayachar. These 3 points will come. Means I pronounce the scripture. If I read the poem, for example, I recite Bhaktamar, for example, then my pronunciation should be perfect. Number 1. Then second thing, not only pronunciation, but I should know the meaning of those words also. It should be the second step. And third thing, both the things have to be there. For example, I know the meaning, but I cannot pronounce good. That's not good. If I pronounce good, but I don't know the meaning, that is not good. So pronunciation, meaning, and both. So these are the 3 pillars out of 8 pillars of the right knowledge is there. Right knowledge thing also gives some idea. I think that will come in the next slide or so, but I'll just throw that one right now. In fact, the scripture says, when should you do the scriptural reading in a daytime? Specific times are given to do the reading of this scripture and everything. So these are the conventional form. Ultimately, my aim, did I get absolute form, is experiencing my soul substance. That is my ultimate aim. Everything will fall into the peace once I start experiencing my soul substance. So that should be my aim. When that aim is occurring, rest of the things are associated with that, and they are called conventional form, means they are auspicious inclination. So all this donation and who about to give the ahardan to Muniraj, and they all will fall in this category over here once I have absolute form. So we'll talk more about it. Right now, I think we'll stop over here. And I think I just talked yesterday. I don't know if a few of you were there yesterday or not. But on the last weekend of April, there is Gurudev Kanji Swami's birthday, 128th birthday is coming. And so Mona Mumukshus of North America, they'll be celebrating on that weekend, Saturday and Sunday. 2-3 hours of programs are there in a telephone conference call and everything. And what I was thinking that we are doing this Samaysar for last 3-4 years and everything. Shall we do some presentation from our side also? And that presentation could be anything we learn. We want to throw the slide. First thing, I'm planning to do the video conferencing. So we can just do some video presentation of ourselves. And if I get those clips, then I can put everything together. And then we will have 1 hour available for presentation, in which different Pathshala will be presenting. I'm taking a one Pathshala class between 5 and 12 year of age kids. They are going to do the 9, four future and one present life of Gurudev Kanji Swami. The second class that is there, that they do the Chedala. So they are also going to do some question answer type of impromptu question answer type of video conference they will do. And so shall we do something? And if we do something, what shall we do? That's the one that I'm asking you people. Think about it. Let me know about by email or something. And then we can prepare those things. I can help it out as much as you don't need any help right now. You guys are listening this one for 3-4 years, and I'm bombarding week after week after week after week, same thing basically. You know it very well. And so come out with some idea that how can we make it meaningful to give our homage to Gurudev Kanji Swami of whatever he taught us, that we just express our thank you to him,
So, Kirit uncle, if we have just 1 minute or 2 minutes right now, can we brainstorm as a group since we're here? The way it's presented, I want to be clear. We are all going to conference in similar to now. That's how we will present.
Well, what I'm thinking, whether we can do live or whether we can do the pre-recorded video, So choice is with us. Live will be even much better because then, it's an element of surprise is there. Or if we feel comfortable by having the videos to be done, then everybody has a smartphone. Just take the video on whatever you want to present, and then I can put all the clips together and make a complete video out of it. So 2 ways we can do it. But
Okay, can I ask a question? How many people on this group are in New York? I know Ankit is and Sushmita Aunty is. Anyone else could potentially meet up for a live
let's see.
skit?
Sushmita, can you speak about it?
I guess I'm asking, is anyone besides Ankit and Sushmita Aunty in New York?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But
I wanted to do something related to the slide with the peacock, the mirror, and the Trikari Drubhagwan Atma and the concepts that came out of that.
Yeah.
But for a skit, unfortunately, it seems to me you need everyone present. Maybe there's a different way.
Yeah, if we do live, that will be great also. That will be really, really interesting. And or if you feel comfortable, just because you would like to prepare properly and everything, then you can take your own time at home, and I can help it out and whatever. So Preeti, you
Does
are
anyone
there.
have any thoughts?
Yeah.
Anyone have any thoughts?
Yeah, Preeti, you have your thoughts?
I like the idea of the peacock because I think that was the time I learned the most. That was the big turning point for me. But right now, I'm actually at IBM in Yorktown Heights in New York. I'm working Monday through Friday. I have a new internship right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure.
Are you around next weekend? Not this weekend, but the following weekend?
Well, I'm here Monday through Friday during the weekdays. And then in the weekends, I'm in New Jersey.
Okay, I'm just putting it out there, and we can take this further in email. If the following weekend, so I think the 8th is a Saturday, if the 15th you could make available Saturday morning at least or something. I know you're in Yorktown Heights, Sushmita Aunty's in Bayside. If they're open to it, at least we'd have 4 people in one place to start a skit, maybe even complete it. That's just we can take that further in email. It's an idea.
Yeah, I don't know where Bayside is. I don't know where are you, Chirag?
I am in Texas, but I'm willing to come down to New York for just that weekend to get this skit done.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Absolutely. I would love to. This is a beautiful thing. So it's a possibility. Sushmita Aunty and Ankit, can you say something? Or would you support this at your home?
Yes, Chira.
Okay, so
We can try. I mean,
if we can get 4, and then if anyone else can join, at least on web conference, we can make up a skit. We can video the skit, and we can submit it.
And I think Ketan is there. Ketan, can you give your suggestions, Ketan, your thought process?
oh, he's not there right now.
He's not
Maybe Chira could sing a song.
No, I'll stick to wearing the peacock dress.
You know what? I have peacock feathers in my house. I just happen to have some.
Oh my God. I would like you to just respond. Either way, I can make this trip. It would be nice if we had as many people as possible. So
I don't know. Just because I'm doing this very new thing in my life, not being home during the regular days, but I think it's a great idea. I'd like to be part of it. Let me see.
perhaps even a Friday night, if you don't want to
Well, I'm
go into your
traveling
week.
Friday. What are the days you're thinking? The 15th, you said?
Saturday and Sunday, because I don't have off. So I'd come in like a early Saturday morning, Friday night, stay for the weekend, get the skit done.
But you normally live in Texas?
Yeah, but I have home in New York. My family is there. So I would have a place to stay. So it's an idea. If there's another way we can accomplish this without having to be physically in the same space, then I'm open to it. I love that idea about that slide.
So let's work on this idea and everything. And I think Ketan probably, he was there, but I think probably, he may have to go to this patient or whatever. I'll send the email to him and get his idea also. And maybe he can join us from the web conference,
Kirit Uncle, we had a lot of discussion about reflection versus illumination.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was, a big point. I think the whole peacock thing, it's a good idea. I actually like that one the most.
Yeah, and we don't have to do 1 hour. We have to do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20, whatever we feel comfortable with, So time is on our side. So we don't have to worry about, shall we do only 5 minutes or 15 minutes or what? We don't have to do 1 hour complete. No. Because other people are also doing it. So we will have, whatever time we would like to have it, I'll make sure that time will be allocated to us, Okay, so let's work on it, and I'll send the email to all these people that they are involved, and we will just get the ball rolling, okay?
Kirit Uncle, at the very least, we can actually write a script, a small play around this concept.
Okay.
And if we can't present it in costume, at the very least, we can do that.
You could have a little fable or a story.
Sure. So if you can connect us with one email, Kirit Uncle, then we can take it from there.
No problem. Okay, very good.
Okay.
I'm very excited that at least that new ideas are coming from you people, because I have all the stale ideas in my mind right now.
Well, it's all you're inspiring us, so.
No, nobody inspires to anybody. It becomes my own Swadhay, basically. That's it, So, but it's good that at least, you because of you people, I had to do lots of my own reading, everything. So it becomes a stimulus for me. So it's just a mutual benefit to all the parties,
All right.
Very good. Okay, so we'll do the closing then. Okay. All right. ज्ञानी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालोक सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देत हूँ डाक 9 times नमो का मंत्र Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. Bye.